Okay, so there was one challenge, guys. So from code unliving pursuit, right? So it was one of the reverse engineering challenge of 200 points. So one of my friends sent me to just crack it. So let us go through that file. So I've just kept it in my open file over here. So as we can see, the file was payload 3, right? So as we can see, it is 32-bit file alpha, right? So if we just try to execute it now, so it says you can't get the flag, okay? Now what we can do is that, so we'll just try to see if we can pass some arguments over here, or else we can say password, right? So as you can see, there is nothing from which we can get the password, okay? So now what the thing is that, for first of all we need to decompile it, right? So if you want, you all can use Ghidra or binary ninja, but while patching it, Ghidra creates some of the issues, okay? But I will recommend you all to decompile the file. You all use Ghidra, and for patching it you all can use binary ninja. So first of all, let us see how we can decompile it using Ghidra, right? So I just try to run Ghidra. Actually, it was a bit tricky, but it was very easy challenge. Because and it is okay. Return it. From here, we can try to analyze the file. Okay, so it is okay. I have to run it as sudo. That binary was taking an argument. Okay, so let me give you the hint. It was taking an argument and it is trying to match it to some particular address and all. So let's see it. My VM is getting a bit stuck. Sorry for that. Yes, it is already open, I guess, but because I was working on it recently, a few hours back. No, don't analyze this. Okay, so it was payload, I guess, right? Yeah, payload 3. So we click on S and analyze it. So then we can, so we'll just wait to analyze all these strings. So it's done. So now we'll click on functions and go to main function, right? Double click on this and we are over here. So now as we can see, there are some of the local variables which are been defined over here, and there is something assignment over here of parameter 1. So it is trying to store it into local variable 18, and then checking is 1 less than parameter 1, and then it is trying to do some comparison and all. And if this everything goes in through loop, right? So this everything becomes true, okay? So it will going to come into this if, and if this also if becomes true, so it will come into this part of code block, right? So over here, as you can see, there are some of the hex addresses. So I think this might be the flag which is in encrypted format, okay? And after that, it is trying to do something continuously looping over here, and we can just try to rename this as I, as we do it basic C. So and then it's trying to take the input, and then it is trying to call the XOR cipher, and then it is also printing the encrypted flag. So let's have a look to XOR cipher. So this function is trying to do some bitwise, I hope so, because I'm also not so good at that. So just a minute h. So it is just trying to do something like a de-encrypting the cipher which was over here in the main function, right over here. So it is trying to de-encrypt this, my guess. So after that, it's trying to print it on the screen. So now if you are good at like cryptography and all such kind of stuff, so you all can decode this by using manually. But in reverse engineering, we can do it by patching the binary. So what we can do is that we can try to patch this instruction over here, or this instruction. So let us have a look, right? So okay, and if this both the conditions does not becomes true, it will gonna come into else, and it says you can't get the flag, and which was printed by us, right? Every time we run the binary. So I'll just try to minimize this and then run the binary ninja, okay? So binary ninja is a free tool, but for some good patching techniques and all, you require a paid version, but free version is enough for us to solve CTFs. Okay, so I'll just click on file, then click on open, then I'll click this file. So this is our target file, right? Payload.3. Then click it on open, and then we see the view. So we can see it in linear view, graph view, and everything else. And then we can see it into the C language, lower level, high level. Okay. So these are basic parts. So as we can see, we are in the main function, right? Over here. So it is first of all trying to match the argument with one. So if argument is more than or equal to one, then only enter the loop. If there is no argument specified, then we get this. You can't get the flag. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is that we'll just ignore this and just go ahead. So what if the argument was there? If the argument is present, that is trying to compare one argument plus 4. So basically it is trying to do something string comparison, right? But we'll not go deep in that. But if you all know, if anything value of the string comparison is equal, so if this output value is equal to this value, right? So it will gonna return 0, means this string comparison is equals, and it will gonna return value 0. And if this string value is not equal, it will gonna return -1 or 1. Okay, so and that value is going to store into eax4. So if eax4 is 0, so is 0 double equals 0, and then we're going to come into this part section of the code, and it will going to give you the de-encrypted flag, right? So now what we can do is that we can try to patch this branch over here. So we can just click on over here, and then just click on right, and then just click on patch, and then we can do, there are like over here 3 branches. So always branch means like every time when the code will get executed, it will not going to check. So it will be like remove if condition and follow the rest of the code. And there is one more called as invert branch. Like if I click on here, so it will going to say not equals to 0. If the return value is 0, so 0 is not equals to 0, so that can be also be done. And if you also want, we can just patch it with never branch. So never branch will always try to execute it into the loop. So I'll just press Control Z, and I'll just click it over here, and I'll just say invert branch. So invert branch is always going to check if the return value is 0, then 0 equals to 0. So but we should get the output 0. But what if the output is not 0? So if the output is 1, right? So I'll just click it over here, and then click on patch, invert the branch. So is 1 not equal to 0? Yes. So anything output which is false, so we know that our output will be going to be false, because we don't know the what will be the exact argument, and then we're going to compare with it. So I've done it with not sign, right? So not equals to 0. So now what we can do is that, so our instruction has been patched over here. So we are having that luck that we can go forward, and from here we can get it the encrypted flag, right? So now click on file, then click on save as, and I'll just keep it in my temp directory. Okay, so in temp directory I'll just name it as patched, or we can just say it as hacked. Okay, and then hit enter save, right? So now the binary has been saved on that particular location. So now what I'm going to do is that just create a new tab, go to temp, right? So then just click on patched. Okay, I guess we need to provide the executable permission to that. Let's give it be patched. Is it not that? Okay, it's was hacked, right? Then we'll just click on hacked. And now if we try to run this, we still get the same error, but we need to specify the argument, right? Because in the code section will go from here, right? So if there is no argument, it will always go in this branch. But now we're going to provide one argument over there, and it can be anything. Okay, but still it will going to come inside because we have provided the argument. And after that, this branch will get activated, and then the return value will be not equal to 0, and then we're going to get the flag. So I'll just try to say hacked. Okay, and then I'll just pass the like a, and then we get the flag. So I'll show you the control flow, the how the code is going, right? So this argument is always getting through because I've supplied one argument, right? So it is coming inside this, and from there it is trying to compare whatever, I don't know what it is, but if the return value is 0, the previous one I'm telling you, right? If the return value was 0, then it will then only it will going to come inside this if section part, right? But we have changed the branching over here only. So we are saying, what if that ex4 value is not equals to 0, then only come inside. So we are trying to manipulate this branch, okay, and from there we are getting the full access to the flag. So in this way I solved it. But yeah, it was an amazing task. Thank you.